Hello, it's me James, and welcome back to the channel. So today, basically, recently, so should I say, I've hit 4,000 subscribers on my channel. Again, I want to say a massive thank you to all the support that everybody's been giving me, everybody that's subscribed, everybody that's known me from literally 100 subscribers. I really do appreciate this. There's been times where I didn't think that I would be doing it still. But now there's nothing really else that I'd like to do than just make videos. So again, today we've done something a little bit different. Basically, for 4,000 subscribers, I wanted to attempt to blow up 4,000 end crystals. Now, we actually successfully managed to do it, like, in a weird way. There was problems, big problems, but in this video, I'm going to explain everything, okay? Literally everything. Again, I want to say a massive thank you, because without you guys, this video, I just wouldn't have done it. I mean, it took a long time, so I would appreciate if you did watch it all the way to the end. And also, please smash like, because like I said, it took a long time, and basically my footage on the alt account, which would have been the better footage of the explosion, it boiled down to one frame. So we did get some footage of the explosion, but obviously it wasn't exactly how we wanted it. Basically, I'm going to talk you through exactly what we did. Basically, me and Slab, as you can see, well, as you just saw, Slab was my helper. He volunteered to help. Again, it's crazy. Anyone who volunteered to help do this is absolutely crazy. I mean, I like doing crazy stuff, but the amount of time it took us to place 5,000 pieces of obsidian was quite crazy. And the reason we placed 5,000 pieces of obsidian is because if you have a full shulker box of obsidian and you dupe that shulker box and times it by 3, I think it works out to be 5,000 something. Basically, one shulker box holds about 1,700 items, so it was just going to be under if we had 2 shulker boxes. So we had to start off with 3 shulker boxes, okay? So we just thought we'd get rid of 3 shulker boxes. We also made 3 shulker boxes full of end crystals, ready to obviously place those as well. But first of all, we had to get the obsidian down. Now, we needed to find a good location, and obviously in Jamcraft, we're actually on Jamarchy doing this now, obviously, so we can dupe and make it a little bit easier. So on Jamcraft, I don't know if anyone remembers, but basically I had a raid farm, and on that raid farm, as you can see here, we've got a nice open area where we can actually place these blocks in like a checkboard pattern, if that's what you want to call it, a chessboard pattern. So we obviously left the gap in between so the explosion would actually go underneath. But thinking about it now, the obsidian is pretty blast resistant, so putting them this close together, I don't know if it was the greatest idea. However, like you're seeing now in the time lapse, it does look actually so awesome. I mean, just look at that. It took a while, but it looks awesome. I mean, it was worth it just for the time lapse, right? So then we basically needed to get rid of, obviously, the raid farm that I had just there, right in the middle of the thing. And I decided to use my alt account because I could use this thing called Nuka. But I don't know if you've just seen that. Basically, I had so many chests full of like totems of Undying and stuff that when I broke them, as you could just see in the distance, I actually lagged out of the game before we even placed one end crystal. So we literally had to wait a while for all the items to go, and obviously me being me, I just tried to carry on. But literally, the game was completely lagged out, which you'll see in a moment. As you can see, we also had pillagers spawning, which was obviously really bad. Obviously, if we're going to place end crystals and we've got pillagers spawning, we don't want them to actually, you know, shoot us and blow up one of the end crystals. That would be the whole mission failed, right? So, obviously, we had to kill the pillagers, get them out of here, and obviously, I needed to make it so the raid farm was completely, like, spawn-proof, if you like, so it couldn't spawn them on the floor, at least so they couldn't see us or reach us. So, as you can see, you can actually see how laggy it is. I'm trying to kill them, but like I say, I'm just literally mashing my buttons together. It seems from this video it isn't that bad, but believe me, it was great. Look at all those totems on the floor, all the arrows. I think there was about, I don't know, there was a lot of chests. I don't know if you remember, but there was a lot of chests, and I blew them all, well, hit them all at the same time. that was probably a bad decision to make. So obviously we had to wait for the items to actually despawn before we could actually do any more work. It was just becoming impossible to do anything. So that's what we did. I then got on my alt account once the items despawn and obviously removed the rest of the raid farm and blocking in the middle bit so none of the pillagers could actually get out and attack us. We were then free to continue placing obsidian like there was no tomorrow. We placed it day and night, as you can see by this time lapse. It literally took us ages and ages and ages. Now unfortunately the full square didn't actually get covered, which is a tiny bit unsatisfying. However, like I said, we spent so long even like patching up the water in the corner so we could go on top of that. We spent so long placing the obsidian, it was actually crazy. And like I said, we hadn't even got to placing the end crystals yet. Right, so phase 1 was complete. We had officially placed over 5,000 blocks of obsidian. I don't think I've ever placed 5,000 blocks in like one sitting. I mean, we did have a break here and there, but as you can see, I'm just doing a little victory dance because I was actually glad it was over. So obviously I wanted to see what that looked like from a bird's eye view, and I'm pretty sure you guys did too. So I jumped on my alt account and we took a little flight to the sky. Now obviously I'm using some kind of hack client here. Again, I'll be making a video on how I actually got this working and stuff for you guys who don't know how. But as you can see, the actual view, what it looks like from above, is actually pretty amazing. It's kind of like a see-through piece of glass, if you like. It's crazy. But now the real work had to begin. We started placing the end crystals. Now slowly, this actually started looking better. The footage you're seeing at the moment, I actually didn't realise that it wasn't rendering the corners, as you can see. But as I get closer to obviously my alt account, placing the end crystals, you can actually see they start rendering. So again, this at first was seeming to be pretty easy, and we were getting a lot done. Like I say, we worked through the day. We also made a point of going to bed at night, but it did slowly become harder and harder and harder, and I had it in my head like, are we going to be able to place all of these end crystals? It was slowly becoming more and more and more and more laggy. It was like, I remember like trying to get to bed at one point, like, but falling off the blocks because I was nerd poling up. I literally didn't know what to do. Minecrafter would do and continue to place end crystals. I mean, it was nearly impossible to place them. As you can see here, we're actually linking slab side now to my side, so they're all linking together, which is going to make this explosion huge, obviously. And like I say, because the lag was so bad, I was just literally placing them anywhere I could literally place them. I was just going for it as fast as possible. It was going to really become impossible for us to play, and that frame there was the last frame that I got on my alt account. So like I said, we made a point of going to bed every night and trying to wake up and place these end crystals. And like I said, it was becoming impossible to go to sleep. I was like living in one of these huts, which I actually, that's the nerd pole up, which I've already said. It was becoming impossible for me to do. I couldn't do that. I'm pretty sure Slab, he was having some trouble as well. So as you can see, he's literally telling me in the comments of the little messenger thing. It would, like I say, it was slowly becoming very, very impossible. So, like I said, I was randomly placing these crystals as much as I possibly can. Slab completely ran out of crystals. I actually gave him some more. And I actually didn't have very many left. So, I was trying to work out how many I did have left, but I literally couldn't. I couldn't find a clip of where I had them. So, like I said, we just carried on placing and placing and placing and placing until we literally like couldn't place anymore, like until we couldn't, because obviously we wanted this thing to blow up. We didn't just want to like completely get disconnected from the server. That would have been even worse in my opinion. Like I said, now you can see my alt account, I'm barely moving now. This has been not changed at all. I'm trying to get over there. I'm trying to place like different end crystals, and it's slowly becoming impossible to place them. Like I say, here at this point, I think I give Slab some end crystals So, like I say, I don't actually know how many he had left after this either. But from the amount I've got here, you can see I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, which is like half a shocker box. So we did get well over 4,000 end crystals placed, because this is obviously the last shocker box. We're in the middle now. And that in itself is crazy. Oh, as you can see, one thing that I didn't take into account was actually the weather. Like, sometimes it does thunderstorm. I obviously thought, being in kind of a desert, it wasn't going to rain. But obviously, this is broken for some reason, and it is actually like raining. And obviously, we did hear some thunderstorms as well. So I think at this point, I just said to Slab, we've got to do it. We've got to do it as soon as possible, because I wasn't going to let a bolt of thunder destroy all the work we spent a whole day doing this. It was crazy. So, like I said, I wasn't going to let that happen. I said to Slab, we've got to do this now. Again, here it is. This is the actual explosion. Again, this is the best footage of the explosion I got. It's so disappointing. However, like I said, we did it. We managed to do it. Although it didn't, like, you couldn't see it very well, we did it. So, as you can see, I can barely hit one of the end crystals to make them actually explode. I get my sword out, and eventually, I think I managed to hit one. I'm thinking to myself, what's going on? There we go. There's the first explosion. Again, I was like, what's going on? The end crystals are still here. I was like, amazed. I was like, what is going on? And then I fell through. Realized that there's a lot more end crystals up there, so I like continued to try and hit them. And then I realized that obviously, because it's such a big area that we covered in end crystals, the reason that the explosion wasn't going, because there was unrendered chunks. So we had to move in the area for the explosion to like go off, if you know what I'm saying. It was crazy, like really crazy. Again, I actually really enjoyed doing it. A massive thank you to Slab, and a massive thank you to anyone who subscribed to my channel. Again, I know it's slightly disappointing not being able to see a huge explosion at the end. But we did it. It was more for the point that we did it. I managed to recover some of the footage, and like I said, put it together. But yeah, we placed 4,000 end crystals, and we did blow them up. So a massive thank you once again to everybody who subscribed. I wonder what we're going to do for 5k. I can tell you, it will be definitely crazy, and I'll hopefully be able to get the footage of it this time. So that's been it for today's video. I will catch you on the next one.